Oh, it's going. Oh, it's live.
Woo!
It's live with another episode of the QBC Exchange. There's my boy AJ.
What up? What up?
What up? What up?
Woohoo!
Happy to be back with you guys. We're gonna get right into the show. We're gonna start right out of the gate with the pick six and extra points because we got quite a few bowl games to come up.
Yeah, we got more than 7 this week.
More than 7. We're gonna go for 2 points, but we need to go for like 3 or 4 points after that touchdown. So
I think it's like 10 points. We need to go for a 10-pointer after.
10-point conversion for the touchdown, and then we're going for a touchdown after that on top of a field goal. So
Sports.
let's get right into the picks. Tonight's game is the debut of the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. AJ, aren't you super excited about that one?
No, I'm not.
We're gonna go right back with the 2-word picks. Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla, Temple versus Owl. AJ, who you got?
Temple.
Owl. Temple. Perfect. Temple as well. Friday, tomorrow, we got 2 bowl games. We got the Bahama Bowl. We got UAB versus Ohio.
Ohio. For sure. Mac repping the Mac, I guess.
Mac rep. I'm going UAB. I didn't like what I saw out of Ohio. UAB.
Okay.
We're going to the Potato Bowl.
Wait, have you seen UAB?
They're a little better than Ohio.
So the answer to that question is no.
I saw Ohio live in person in Toledo this year, and they were not that good.
Okay.
The Potato Bowl at the Blue Field of Boise. Central Michigan versus Wyoming.
I'm going to go with Central in this one just because I think their overall team is better, but Wyoming's got a really good quarterback. Supposedly that's supposed to be good in the NFL at some point. We'll see. So I'm going with Central and that guy from Michigan that's there now. Shane Morris.
I was going to say Shane Morris. I'm taking Shane Morris, and I'm taking Central Michigan.
Dope.
Saturday, we got the Birmingham Bowl. The Texas Tech versus University of South Florida.
I'm going with USF. Charlie Strong all the way.
Charlie Strong all the way. I'm the same way. South Florida, kind of close. I'm going kind of close.
I thought we were doing 2-word answers.
Okay. Well, yours lasted longer than 2 words.
Yours lasted a lot longer than 2 words.
Armed Forces Bowl. San Diego State, Army.
San Diego State.
San Diego State, same. Dollar General Bowl. Appalachian State versus
Toledo.
Oh.
Toledo. I picked Toledo.
Toledo, I'd pick the same. I'm going with Toledo. What's up? Sunday, Hawaii Bowl, Fresno State, Houston.
I think I'm going to go with Houston in this one.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going Fresno State. I am going Fresno State.
Okay.
Heart of Dallas Bowl, Utah, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Same, West Virginia. Quick Lane Auto Bowl. That one's going to be up in Detroit. Duke, Northern Illinois.
Duke.
Agreed. Duke here. Kansas State, UCLA in the Cactus Bowl.
UCLA, Josh Rosen's going to the Browns after that game, too. He's on a direct flight. You heard it here.
All right. That was more than 2 words. So we're going to disregard the last statement of Josh Rosen going to the Browns. Must be disregarded. It was more than 2 words. But I'm going UCLA as well. Those 3 games, Heart of Dallas, Quick Lane, Cactus, those can be found on Tuesday. Wednesday morning or Wednesday early afternoon, prior to our next Wednesday show, will be the Independence Bowl. Southern Miss versus Florida State. AJ, you see an upset?
I do, just because Jimbo Fisher left, but I also see a team that might be really determined. So I don't know. It's a toss-up, but I mean, I think Southern Miss has a really good shot just with the state of affairs of Florida State at this point.
Agreed. I'm still giving the slight edge to Florida State. I also see a potential for an upset. It's a tall order, but I still see Florida State. New Era Pinstripe, Iowa, Boston College.
Iowa, that win over Ohio State.
1 win. Good. I'm going Iowa too. Big Ten versus, ACC is good, but I'm going Big Ten. That's the pick 6 and the extra points. Brought to you by us two. Just me and AJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the JV report.
AJ. Thank you, the JV report. Let's move on to the NFL. We got some We're going to talk about some coaching changes. One that's already being talked about, or 95% certain that's going to happen.
Pretty sure it's 100%, but whatever.
Marvin Lewis, supposedly a report leaked that Marvin Lewis is leaving at the end of the year. Marvin Lewis keeps denying it. He's saying, we'll see what happens at the end of the year. We'll see what happens. The old ball and chain.
Right.
Buying it. Lewis gone at the end of the year.
Yep, he needs to go. Unfortunately, I mean, he's a good guy, but there's been a lot that's happened in Cincinnati, and they haven't won a playoff game. I mean, they had Carson Palmer at one point, and now they got Andy Dalton, 2 franchise quarterbacks, and neither of them can win in the playoffs. Marvin Lewis can't win in the playoffs, so it's time to go.
Yeah, the JV Report just did a story today on that. He spent 15 seasons there, second longest tenured in the NFL currently.
Yeah.
No playoff wins after 7 appearances. I'm a huge Bengals fan. The JV community knows that. I love you, Marvin. You've been a terrific. Thank you for the past 15 years. Time to move on.
Okay.
It's time to move on. Any other coaching changes you see coming up?
One that I'm really sad that's going to happen is probably in Indianapolis with just the whole debacle that's happened there. That whole franchise is in complete disarray right now. Andrew Luck magically had shoulder surgery last year and still isn't cleared to play, so they botched it and they won't admit it. Just the whole thing's a disaster. Chuck Pagano's a great guy. He had cancer a few years ago, came back from it, but he's just losing his mind out there and they can't win, so he's got to go. And then Chicago will be on the lookout for that too with John Fox. Not 100% sure, but just be on the lookout for that.
You're absolutely right. I like Chuck Pagano. Tough situation he came from. When his first season as a head coach, he suffered cancer. Bruce Arians stepped in, did an excellent job. But I've liked Chuck Pagano since then. I thought he's been a great coach. Just like you said, terrific, or a very, very, very unfortunate situation in Indianapolis for him. John Fox, I've always thought he's been overrated.
He has, but he's been to 2 Super Bowls, so that's more than a lot of other coaches. But at the same time, we'll see what happens. I don't know if he'll stay, but I don't know if he'll get another job if he gets fired.
Anybody you see in line for those 2 positions?
Nope, not at this point. I haven't spent any time looking at the offensive coordinators that are out there. I've heard some names getting thrown around, like Pat Shurmur, who was the old head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and I believe is on the Minnesota Vikings staff. But besides that, I don't really, I don't foresee. I don't know at this point.
I personally think both the Lions offensive and defensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter and Terrell Davis.
Jim Bob Cooter sucks. Gosh.
More so Terrell Austin. I think Terrell Austin.
All right. Dude. Yeah. Nah.
No. All right.
All right.
Current playoff picture. AJ, who's going to the playoffs?
Well, I don't know who's going to the playoffs, but I know the Eagles are going to the playoffs without their starting quarterback, and everybody thinks they can still make it to the Super Bowl. But I got news for you. We got Cam Newton coming in a wild card spot right now at this point, right behind the Saints. The Saints look really good, and in the NFC, all those teams are really good, and obviously in the AFC, you still got the Steelers and the Patriots. I think the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, like I said last week, and I think that it's the year that Cam Newton gets back to the Super Bowl. With the unfortunate events that have happened with Jerry Richardson and everything that's coming up there, I think they're going to try to send him off with a Super Bowl win. Up. I can't hear you. And this commercial is brought to you by all the fat people that like to eat at buffets, which would be me and Andy. So, still can't hear him. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. We're going to go to a black screen.
Don't be dogging the buffet.
Oh, he's back. Okay, he's back.
Yeah,
Thank God.
That's because I left. I put my mic on mute. That was my fault.
Okay, well, that's great. We're not doing a terrible show here on YouTube over Google Hangouts or whatever, anything. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, anyways.
All I said was the JV Report put in a bid for the Carolina Panthers. Hopefully, we'll be winning that bid.
You'd have to have money to be able to do that, and I think the bank account for the JV Report is probably negative $300 by now. So,
little off. We're negative $250.
All right,
moving
whatever.
On to the next. You got the Panthers going all the way?
I don't quote me on it, but I think they're the best team in the NFC after that injury to Carson Wentz.
I agree. No, I disagree.
Okay.
I like the Eagles. I like Nick Foles. It's going to be a tough road to go through Carolina, but I mean, with them being able to hold the playoffs in Philadelphia, no chance.
Okay. Super.
All right, next topic you want to talk about. The Packers, they kind of put Aaron Rodgers, they brought him back a little early from an injury to kind of get into a playoff spot. Didn't go so well. They lost to the Panthers. Was it worth for the Packers to put Aaron Rodgers into the game and now to put him on the IR to let him recover the rest of the year?
No, I mean, it wasn't. In all reality, they had to win 3 games, the last 3 games against Carolina, who's a really good team, Minnesota, who's a really good team, and Detroit, who is average, but, they can play well on any Sunday. And to be quite honest with you, the Packers just don't have the talent, even with Aaron Rodgers, to make the playoffs in the first place, especially in the scenario they're in. If he had played all year, they probably could have made the playoffs, but they just don't have the talent around him. It's a real shame, but I think, to be quite honest with you, he's peaked as a quarterback like we saw with Brett Favre at one point. So we'll see what happens, but unless they get more talent in there, like in New England, they're bringing in guys like Brandon Cooks. They already got an ogre that plays tight end and just dominates people. And you can't even, if you're not an average football fan, you can't even name who a receiver would be for the Green Bay Packers, or a running back, or a tight end, or anybody that plays on defense for that matter.
Okay, the defense I'll give you. The offense, you've got Jordy Nelson. You've got
Jordy Nelson is 40 years old. He's a bum. Devontae Adams would be no good anywhere else.
Agree to disagree. He'd still be a number 2 somewhere else. He wouldn't be
Frozen again.
He wouldn't be great. He would be good.
He's not great in Green Bay.
You're right. Okay, you're right. He's a solid.
Send Josh Gordon to Green Bay and see what happens. Josh Gordon would have 85 touchdown catches next year from Aaron Rodgers. I guarantee you.
I'm not denying that. I'm totally not
saying Devontae Adams is not that good. That's all I'm saying.
He's not that. He's a solid number 2 wide receiver. That's what you were looking for.
They don't have a number 1. Jordy Nelson is 33 years old.
Jordy Nelson is the number 1.
And he's white. Give me a break. Come on.
White boys can't play wide receiver.
No, they can't. White boys eat turkey and play offensive line. That's it. That's all they do in the NFL anymore.
Hot take by AJ there as well. Aaron Rodgers had peaked. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you think Aaron Rodgers has peaked, I disagree with that. I'd say he's got 3 more years before he peaks.
He just had shoulders.
Hello, AJ? Hello, AJ.
I'm here.
Us.
No, I'm here. Where are you?
Okay, good.
All right,
AJ's here.
Boy, we're having a shit show right now, so we better pick this up. All right, on to the next.
With the regress that the Packers face this year, even with Aaron Rodgers on the bench, Mike McCarthy on the hot seat.
Yes. He's got to be. He hasn't done anything since they won the Super Bowl. What is it, almost 10 years ago now? 8 years ago, 7 years ago in Dallas against the Steelers? I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback on the planet, or has been for the last 5 years, and they haven't been to the Super Bowl all but one time. So he's got to be on the hot seat. And if he's such a smart guy, he should have been able to win enough games to get to 10 wins and get them to the playoffs.
Okay, I did the math at work today. He's been to 5 NFC championships. I'm sorry, 4. He's lost 3 of them, but it still takes to be an NFC runner. What?
Did you watch that game against Atlanta last year in the playoffs?
You're going to bring that one. I mean, yeah, Atlanta just hot. It's okay.
Oh, give me a break. Atlanta was not hot. Atlanta wasn't that good last year. The Patriots weren't that good last year. Aaron Rodgers was out there with nobody to play with, and he was still carrying that team. He has been for the last 5 years.
So if it's about not having the talent around him, is it Mike McCarthy's fault, or is it the GM Ted Thompson's fault?
It's Mike McCarthy's fault and Ted Thompson's fault, because they talk about, oh, we do everything through the draft. You know, we want to build our players in our culture where it's cold and we don't give them coats. We make them stand outside in negative 20 degrees with 50 inches of snow. Give me a break, man. Get some guys out there to help him win. He's getting old. You're not going to win any Super Bowls with the talent he has right now. He needs a real running back. He needs an offensive line, and he needs receivers, and they need to get a defense together.
So basically you're saying that he needs an entire football team out there. That's all I'm hearing, is that they need an entire football team.
Yes, they do.
Quarterback. He's got the greatest quarterback in the world.
Right. And in the NFL, you can win with the greatest quarterback in a shitty team.
Agree to disagree, because I still think Mike McCarthy's got a few years. You don't like that, do you?
It's fine. Let's move on to the next.
Let's move on to the final drive. Let's skip on to the final drive. AJ and I caught up on the Dan LeBatard interview with Rob Manfred. AJ had some hot takes to say about the Marlins. If you haven't checked out the interview, highly recommend you check it out. LeBatard grills Manfred about the state.
He undressed him on national television down to bare naked. I mean, he undressed the guy.
Well, to be fair, Manfred was on the phone, so he wasn't actually naked. But
yeah, I could feel out of his body and just holding it and then eating it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Derek Jeter sucks. Number 2's going right to hell with Art Briles.
Let's hear your take on the status of the Marlins right now.
No, if you want to hear the take, check it out on Twitter. We already had a Twitter debate over it last night. Andy and I did. So if you want a hot take, go look it up on Twitter. My Twitter tag is Ruth4King. Lower line AJZ, and Andy's is whatever it is. You can find it there. Maybe we'll post a link to it in the comment section and you can see it. But just the whole thing's a disaster, and it's bad for baseball. It's bad for South Florida. That's all there is to it.
Hate to break it to you, but you were really breaking up there. Quick question. Who's worse commissioner at this time, Rob Manfred or Roger Goodell?
I think it's a tie right now with what happened in Miami. Yeah. I mean, Roger Goodell, he's got all the power he's got because of the players' union and the agreement that they signed in the CBA a couple of years ago. But I think Roger Goodell, he takes all the heat for the owners, which is what they want. And in Major League Baseball, all he does is make every other team except for the teams in South Florida really good. And he just makes them a farm system by selling them to an ownership group that has Derek Jeter instead of other suitors that had a lot more money and were saying they were going to spend instead of what you call rebuild. They didn't need to rebuild. So I'm going with Manfred.
Check out our Twitter because
the way that he got worked by Dan LeBatard, Roger Goodell would never let that happen.
No, I agree, Roger. I'm surprised Manfred went on that show. Very surprised, but that's the kind of guy Manfred is. He wants to be out in public. All
right.
But that was foolish of Manfred to go on. That was the final drive. Brought to you by No One Yet. Brought to you by the JV Report, though. Hey, JV Report, check it out.
Sports.
We'll wrap the show up with AJ's rant. AJ, you have another rant regarding the NFL and how they can't figure out catching.
So the NFL, give me a break. Okay, I mean, look, you look at the Patriots, and they seem to win games all the time. Bill Belichick has had his picture taken with every official in the NFL, and they managed to win every close game, and they always seem to get a call at the end of the game where you're scratching your head. If you watched the game last week against the Steelers, you saw where and it got overturned because he didn't complete the catch. There's different circumstances throughout the year. One being a Brandon Cooks catch against the Texans that was pretty much the same thing in the corner of the end zone where he didn't have full possession, but they ruled it a touchdown anyways. And you can go all the way back to the game where Dallas lost to the Packers in the playoffs a few years ago, and Dez Bryant on 4th and 1 caught a touchdown in the end zone, and they said that it wasn't a catch. If you watch that play, it was a catch. The NFL needs to get this stuff figured out right now because it is freaking ridiculous, and it's costing people money, jobs, and games. I mean, there should not be in any universe where that wasn't a touchdown catch, ever. That's a clown show. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You're the NFL. You know how to do everything. You have rules for every single thing in the NFL. You've got all this crap going on, and you can't figure out what a catch is, and you haven't for the last 10 years. And then you got freaking Mike Tomlin coming out saying, I think we're going to do a review of the catch rule in the offseason. Good, do a review. Doesn't make any sense. I can't hear you.
That's right, because I'm on mute. What is a catch in the NFL? What is a catch in the NFL?
No one knows.
Do you have to have one hand on the ball? Do you have to have two hands? Do you have to have 1 foot on the ball? Do you have to have your mouth around the ball? What is a catch in the NFL? No one knows anymore. I 100% agree with you. I mean, they have rules. You can't wear a gray and black colored cleat. you'll get fined for that. But God forbid, you can't clearly catch a football. But the officials say, nope, nope, nope.
I don't understand, but the thing is they have it set up where all the reviews go to New York. So there's one guy that's calling every game on all reviews, and the calls are never consistent. They're never consistent.
Definitely agree. And figure it out. Spend the offseason. You have an entire.
Yeah, it's not our job. We're the fans. You guys figure it out. God dang it.
Yeah, we're the ones who are going to call you out. We'll get Roger Goodell on this show.
Yeah, we'll get Roger on here, and we'll grill him down to his underwear. Just like Manfred. Let's get Manfred on here, too. Ask him what he thinks. Yeah, let's get them all on here. We'll do a commissioner's roundtable. Brought to you by the JV Report.
Brought to you by. Final question. One last question, then we're calling it quits. AJ, is P. Diddy buying the Panthers?
No.
Great question. Great answer, because I 100% agree.
He doesn't have enough money.
I agree.
Neither does Steph Curry. Neither does Steph Curry, and definitely Colin Kaepernick doesn't either. So,
but if they pull their money together,
no, Andy, that puts them at like $500 million, and they need like $3 billion or $2.4 billion.
No, I agree. That's what I agree. They all this talk.
Yeah, lots of talk.
Lots of talk. I don't see any dollars flying.
Nope.
That's AJ.
Except for at the strip club.
Hey, that's AJ.
Make it rain.
I'm Andy Geierman. From all of us at the JV Report, we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys all next week. AJ,
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. And if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about in the future, or if you have any ideas for how we can improve the show, feel free to type it in the old comment section underneath. And be sure to subscribe to the JV Report. Check out the website. Subscribe to this page on YouTube, and check us out on Twitter. We got a lot going on everywhere, and we'll see you soon.
Wow, that was a long sign off. Goodbye.
Peace.